hindi natin maikakaila ang halaga ng mga kababaihan sa ating lipunan. Una na riyan ang pagiging ina, ang pagiging asawa. Kaya naman ngayon ay nakikita na rin natin na marami sa ating mga kababaihan ang nagiging pinuno sa lipunan. Hindi lamang sa gobyerno, subalit pati na rin sa pribadong sektor.
At sa buwan na ito ng Marso ay tatalakayin natin kung gaano nga ba kahalaga ang mga kababaihan. Women in Power, yan pong pag-uusapan natin sa ating What's Brewing with a special guest. So don't miss this.
At tamang-tama naman kung ikaw ay humaharap sa maraming tao, importante ang usapang power dressing at self-confidence. Abangan ninyo ang talakayang ito kasama si Ms. Michelle Bautista sa Espresso South.
So good discussions await you today. Huwag niyo po ililipat ang channel na yan. Ako po si Reza Abante Yebra.
And on behalf of Bishop Ruben Abante, I'm Gabby Yebra. Join us and let's have good talk over good coffee. Welcome to the Lighthouse Cafe. Mahalaga ang ginagampanan ng mga kababaihan sa ating lipunan. Sa loob man yan ng tahanan o sa mga iba pang organisasyon. Kaya naman nakakalungkot isipin kapag sila ay tinatagurian na mas mahinang kasarian, lalo na sa konteksto ng ibang mga lahi. Ngunit sa pagdaan ng panahon at dulot na rin ng globalisasyon, unti-unti na nagbabago ang pananaw ng karamihan tungkol sa mga kababaihan at sa kanilang kontribusyon sa lipunan.
Agree ako dyan, Gabby. Actually, nauso na ngayon yung hashtag Strong Independent Woman sa social media, lalo na sa ating bansa. At napakainam na ang mga kababaihan dito ay may boses at nabibigyan ng oportunidad na mamuno kahit sa matataas na katungkulan.
Tama, Reza. At ngayong araw, isang napakagandang usapan ang ating tatalakayin in honor of women. Paano nga ba nagkakaroon ng impluwensya ang ating mga kababaihan o paano ba sila nabibigyan ng empowerment at paano natin nakikita ito sa lipunan? Kasama natin ngayon si Dr. Grace Chang Kwan Koo, a professor of educational psychology at the University of the Philippines, teaching for over 20 years and also a sought-after speaker in schools, church retreats, and corporate events. Not to mention, she's also a writer. Welcome to Lighthouse Cafe, Dr. Grace.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, it's an honor. Dr. Grace, it's a very important and good topic that we're discussing today. But in terms of the perception of the society to women here in the Philippines, how have you seen it evolve throughout the past few decades up until now?
I think we are doing very well. First of all, we have 2 women presidents.
Yes.
That is not very usual for most countries. And the fact that the women are given every chance to get education, there's no limit to your education. And so right now, women are doing fine in academics, in the offices. But the only thing that I could see the difference was even when my mom was a college student, when she got married, she decided not to continue her education because she thought that being pregnant after getting married was not very suitable for college life. So I don't think that is still happening among my students because it's fine if you're pregnant and still studying. So if I can see the differences there from one generation to another, we are more accepting of women in their roles, dual roles, in the family as well as in work.
Yeah. So do you think, Ms. Grace, women being inspired or being empowered actually starts in the home?
Of course, yeah. Even before my mom, my Lola, my paternal Lola, was... I heard from my father that she was the one who started the girls' school in their hometown. So how many generation was that? I've never met my Lola, paternal Lola, but that inspired us to do well because every time we have a picture of my Lola at home, and every time my father talked about his mother, it was with such admiration. And so we had a strong women. We have very strong women in our family, many of them. Yeah. So I think the fact that the family, my father talking about his mother, and my mom talking about her mother, made it easy for us to think of women as important members and leaders of the family.
I think, Reza, Dr. Grace, gone are the days where you would put a wife, a woman, just in
Right.
the corner or inside the
Yeah,
house
in the
doing all the
kitchen.
chores, kitchen, serving. Which one is it in terms of being a bigger factor? Is it like women pushing, forward and just, really fighting for their place in the society, or is it more of institutions, setting up, all this opportunities, equal opportunities for women throughout the past few years? Which one do you think have
I think
paved
it is
the way?
both ways, right? Yeah, the personality of a person in the family would make her more ambitious to work outside the home and so on. But if there are no opportunities in the institutions, that would limit her ambition as well.
Right.
So I have many friends who are vice presidents, presidents of banks, and they are women. So I don't think there is much difference if people work hard enough, women work hard enough to be where they want to be.
I think the key word there would be multitasking. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you agree with
of
me.
course,
But
yeah.
I've seen a lot of, especially celebrities and also Hollywood women and also people in the academe who actually juggle their tasks between the home, taking care of the children, taking care of the family, as well as managing a career and like you, being in a position of influence, particularly for college students. How was it like for you juggling these tasks?
Actually, I didn't work for 9 years, 8 years actually. I waited for both my children to reach age 5, so that took 8 years. Not doing much.
Oh, really?
I just
Wow.
stayed home. I was a stay home for several years, and I felt that I was not conversing or getting to know other people
Yeah.
other than the yaya and the neighbors and so on. So I decided to go back to school to take my second master's and then PhD. Eventually, when I graduated, I was offered jobs to teach either in many of these universities, but I chose UP. Yeah.
That's good, UP. But I think part of it is, of course, from your personal experience, Dr. Grace, is that thirst for
Learning,
for
yeah.
learning, for
Yeah.
growth, right? It's interesting because maybe in the past, women would have settled, and just
Yeah.
being in the house. But I think one factor also is the cost of living and the need to earn,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
forces,
Parents to earn,
even
right.
women, I've heard of, even single moms
Right.
Moms,
Yeah.
being forced to really work and earn for their
Yeah,
families.
yeah. Although it was ideal for me to stay home for those years, I of course understand that sometimes they need both parents to be working to raise a family. But we can always adjust as to who will work harder for a certain period of time and so on, the major breadwinner, while the wife makes a certain adjustment to take care of the family as well. Of course, multitasking is a skill, as you're doing now, taking care of your son and working and so on. But you see, unless you are very focused or hardworking, it would be quite hard to manage both the family and work equally well. But as the child starts to go to
Grows,
school,
yeah.
you have more time, and then you can go back, return to work. So making a little sacrifice when children are young
Yes.
is worth it. Yeah.
You're true. Actually, I've heard a lot of women say that, this stage in their lives pass very easily. So you really have
Yeah.
to focus on taking care of your child as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You'll miss many of the milestones if
Yeah.
you're, a 9 to 5 worker, and then with the traffic and so on, you almost don't see your children when you come home and when you leave the home, and that's so sad, right? Yeah. So having the children around for a few years will make your sacrifice quite worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of even moms claiming you shouldn't say I'm a full-time mom or a fifth part-time
or
mom.
just say I'm just
It's
a
always
housewife.
yes.
Correct. Because I've seen people, even my wife, if I could, really working and trying to juggle all these things, but at the same time not, leaving our son, alone,
Yeah.
and just dealing with it. based on your experience, how did you manage all of those things?
Well, to have a very good yaya is, of course, and a supportive husband, of course, yeah. But I think during those years, I was enjoying a full-time housewife, homemaker.
Yeah.
We should
Homemaker,
use the
yes.
word more often, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
And you're just taking care of the family, the house, and so on, looking how to decorate your house and so on. Those were good times as well. But because I'm such a reader, I like to read so much. When I was reading, then I started to miss school again, so I went back to school. Yeah.
Coming from someone naman po na who's in the position, like for example, now you're a professor in educational
Yeah.
psychology. How do you think is your life or your life principles actually influence the students who are, you know, listening under your teaching?
When I first accepted the offer from UP to teach, I thought I would be teaching 3 years only. It's now 22
20.
years,
Wow.
23 years. So I guess because I enjoyed talking, communicating, imparting wisdom, and so on, I feel that my influence within the classroom by itself is an opportunity
Yeah.
for ministry. So even if I decline most of the administrative work, I have never accepted many of the offers in administration because I feel that my role as a teacher, a professor, is within the class. That if I have the chance to speak with these students for 18 weeks in this semester and every week for 3 hours straight, 54 hours, that will have an effect on their thinking.
Yeah.
And that is how we start to change your lives. Because I used to be a youth pastor in the church, and I felt that during the weekdays, most of the kids, youth, were in school, so I could only meet them once, probably on Saturday or Sunday, and so on. And it was hard even to maintain, to invite them to come regularly. But in school,
You've
well, they
captured
have
them,
to be
yeah.
there.
Yes, it's a captured audience. You're right.
So they have to be there, and they work with we work with them, mentoring them, and so on. They feel very appreciative of all the extra work that you do with them.
Yeah, I discussed briefly your credentials. It's such an impressive credentials. Now you're teaching at UP. What has been the biggest fulfillment of being in this field in the academia?
I'd like to admit I'm aging, but being there long enough, I like the the honor or the chance to decide on my own schedules, decide on my courses, what courses I will be teaching, at what time, and so on. Even the classroom and so on. So, but of course, we do not want to abuse all this special treatment for more senior faculty. But I feel that now that I am in one of the older faculty members, we get a chance to say what we'd like to say without needing to please everyone and to feel that it will there's much to lose if you say things. So I found this this freedom of authenticity, of being honest, of being sharing wisdom, something new at my stage, and I get younger colleagues to appreciate me for saying things outright, freely, without political correctness or what, and so on. I feel that is one place where I've arrived, at least in my teaching, because of my length of service. However, because I teach psychology, I do not stop at psychology. So I go further to philosophy, and from philosophy to theology. So because I've, UP is very free.
Yes.
You don't follow a textbook or a syllabus and so on. So many times I end a lecture with a Bible verse, and that's something not very usual for a state university. In fact, more atheistic than theistic in many ways. So I find that an opportunity where people can hear the Word of God unexpectedly, yet connected to what the courses are about. Yeah.
Right. Actually, that's very admirable, Dr. Grace, because I was able to attend one of your lectures, and towards the end, it's true, Gabby, towards the end of the lecture, she was able to inject verses, and I was actually surprised because my course is social science, so I've heard a lot of professors talk freely about their atheistic views, and that was very refreshing to hear a verse in a lecture at UP. But how do you think you're able to inject very practical and relevant verses without the students thinking na parang, di ba? You're
that's right.
being very forceful in terms of your religious beliefs.
Yeah, first of all, of course, you have to be familiar with the Bible, you know, the context and so on and so forth. Secondly, because many of the students come back to my classes even if they don't need those courses because they just enjoy taking my courses. Made it easier for me, you know, to share more freely with them and so on. And I think because they respect me for not imposing my religion on them, and yet wanted sincerely to make them see what God sees and that are expressed in the Bible and so on.
Maybe before we end, Dr. Grace, you can share a short inspirational message, particularly to the women who are watching the show right now.
Thousands of women watching right now.
Oh, just be yourself, of course, but don't be, you know, don't be limited by what other people say. You can always achieve the next step. Just the next step. You don't have to aspire something that is too high for you. Just be happy in your work, and whatever is worth your doing, do it well.
Amen. Be happy with your work. So be it, you know, in a home and juggling work and, you know, being a homemaker, be happy and content with what God has
And set
given you.
realistic you know, goals, right?
Yeah.
Step at a time. It's never gonna be a shortcut for everyone.
That's true. Thank you very much, Dr.
You're
Grace.
welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Grace. You actually remind me of the verse, "Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised." Ngayon naman po ay puntahan natin ang Espresso Self para sa isa pang babae na may mahalagang ginagawa sa ating pong lipunan. Mga usaping in, mga paksang trending,
Mga talakayang may kabuluhan.
lifestyle at kultura ang sariling atin.
Buhay Pinoy, pag-usapan natin dito sa
Espresso Self! Antoinette,
Yes.
napakabilis ng panahon. March na, and of course, we're celebrating Women's Month. And I personally have been blessed with wonderful women in my life.
Yes.
Of course, starting with my mom, such a loving and selfless person. Pinalaki niya 4 na lalaki. Of course, my father was also, for his part, doing some, you know, making sacrifices, serving the country in the military sa mga malalayong lugar. And now that I'm married, nakita ko rin sa wife ko firsthand yung pagmamahal niya. How she juggles yung work, yung faithfulness niya sa ministry. And alam mo, never niya kaming pinabayaan. Never ko naramdaman na pinabayaan niya kami. It's just by the grace of God na nakita ko yun. Pero parang kung isipin mo, napaka-imposible.
Amen. At parang may nangingilid na luha sa...
Nakita mo yung pag-break ng voice ko, diba?
Oo.
Pag siya tayo pinag-uusapan natin, medyo emotional ako.
Yes, pero tama ka dyan, Gabby, no? Kasi minsan nga, hindi naman sa pagdidiscriminate, ano?
Yeah.
Pero we see a lot of posts, especially pag Mother's Day or Women's Month, na talagang superheroes ang tinataguri sa mga, or tinataguri ang superheroes sa mga kababaihan. Probably because of yun nga yung ability namin to, you know, multitask, juggle everything, yan, yung family, work, ministries, and of course yung personal
life, which is important.
Yes, so yun naman. Kaya napakaganda that we're celebrating a month for women.
Yes, tama yan. Napakarami natin nakikita mga multitasking women pagdating sa business, sa work, even sa life nila. Kaya naman makakatulong sa atin ngayon ang usapan natin, lalo na sa pagbibuild ng confidence sa mga kababaihan.
Tama, importante yan, Gabi. Lalo na kapag humaharap tayo sa maraming tao or kaya naman nagsasalita sa harap ng maraming tao. And of course, isang bagay din na napakahalaga is how we present ourselves. And minsan, it also affects or define how we feel about ourselves.
Yes, and for this Women's Month, ang episode na ito ay para sa ating mga kababaihan.
Yes.
Kaya inibitahan natin ang isang eksperto pagdating sa ganitong usapin. She's the past Secretary General of JCI Manilena and Director for Placement Office of the Far Eastern University. Welcome back to Lighthouse Cafe, Miss Mitch Bautista.
Nice to be back, Gabby and Antoinette.
Yes, maganda po usapan natin. It's all about confidence. How do you define confidence, Miss Mitch? Ito ba isang parang pinanganak ka na confident ka or something na nabibuild over time?
For me, self-confidence is something that is built over time. Kasi it's dependent also on the exposure, experience, and over time, parang ako lang, no kabataan ko, diba? Mahihain talaga ako.
Talaga ba?
Hindi ako mapapaharap sa TV. Pero over time, because of experience, because of exposure sa iba-ibang tao, I'm able to build it.
So, hindi lang po siya, kunyari sa personality, kasi we have different types of personality right now, na may iba introverts, may iba extroverts. So, would you say na kahit introvert ka, kahit na, kumbaga, nung bata ka, hindi, yun nga, hindi ka, mas gusto mo na close, confined lang yung when you're exposed, you can build it up?
Yes, because it doesn't mean naman that if you're introvert, you're not confident.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah.
Parang ang mga students ko, if I may just relate, no? Because I'm also teaching, there are some students who are really introvert, and some students naman are able to express themselves well verbally. Meron naman mga estudyante na able to express themselves written. So, there you have it. Iba-iba talagang personality and iba-iba rin talaga. But that's, again, going back, self-confidence is something that you are able to build.
Correct. It takes training, it takes time.
Yes.
And I think yung manifestation, it's not necessarily parang every time people say, oh, here comes
Verbal,
Mr.
ganyan.
Confident, person. Pero I think it's also the way you handle yourself. And sometimes it doesn't need to be parang kailangan mong i-express na confident ka. One aspect of it, which we want to discuss now, is yung power dressing, Miss Mitch.
Yes.
So power dressing, parang medyo mabigat na term, di ba? How would you personally define it also?
Actually, power dressing is very, very simple. Although the word kasi it's
Power.
For me, it's like dressing appropriately.
Okay.
It depends on the occasion, di ba? And it depends, particularly, for example, in the workplace, di ba? You dress up because you will be interviewed. You dress up for some reasons. You wear, what? You wear swimsuit. Where do you wear it, di ba? It depends on the place that you're gonna wear it. Kasi kung hindi ka naman mag-wear ng, rash guard on the beach, and you will be somebody different naman. And it's not really appropriate for that particular event or for that particular place. If you're be attending a wedding, I think we all know, most of us know what to wear, right? And it's like a formal dress.
So, hindi lang siya yung, kasi sa term mismo na power dressing, parang you're always wearing blazer, yung ganun ba, na very
typical na,
formal, but it's on the event and yung being appropriate niya.
Yes. One thing that I always remember, and I always tell my students, also my children, I have a daughter kasi, and even my son who's 14-year-old, I see to it that I'm able to check on what they wear, even if they're going to school, if they're going to attend parties, because I'm very, well, personally lang naman, I'm very conservative when it comes to dressing up. So I would always remind them, keep yourself covered.
Nice.
That's really the basic. And depending on the situation, whether it's going to the beach, going to a wedding, attending somebody else's party, the number one rule is to keep yourself covered. You keep yourself classy on any occasion. Kahit nasabihin pa yung party or birthday ng kapitbahay.
Miss Mitch, what's a good parang intent or parang yung desire or intended effect of power dressing or dressing up?
In dressing up kasi, even when I was a kid, I'm always reminded, first impression lasts.
Okay.
In an interview, because I'm with a placement office, we always teach our students, especially graduating students, that during your interview, you have to look best. Because you are representing not just yourself, but you also representing the university.
Yes.
And if you are like going somewhere else, come as you are representing your family. Diba? So you have to dress appropriately. And that for me, it's not about the price tag,
Correct.
diba? Whether
That's
it's, yung the known brands, or kahit nabili mo lang siya somewhere else in bazaars or anywhere, so long as you are dressed appropriately, then that's power dressing. Some would ask me nga, kahit nasa bahay, I could dress up just like a celebrity, and why not,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
So, basta dressing appropriately. And for me, being covered. And when it comes to color, it's neutral and it's appropriate because there's psychology of colors as well. Diba? And it may give some impression, lalo na kung halimbawa,
yeah.
first time kayo
Correct,
mag-meet.
correct. Tapos
It's very striking yung
naka-pink ka or
hot
Well, you can wear pink, but it depends naman on the occasion
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And may pinipili ding time.
Yes.
Diba? So, there.
Nice. O, diba? So, keeping yourself covered and then yung appropriateness ng event.
Yes.
So, those are the two parang key points that we can...
Meron pa, if I
Ay.
may add.
Yeah.
Yun nga, I said, you always keep yourself. Sabi nga ni Coco Chanel. Ang sabi ni Coco Chanel, classy and fabulous daw dapat ang
Classy and
women.
fabulous.
Ako, dadagdagan ko siya. You have to keep yourself, when you dress up, classy. Sabihan na nating fabulous. And covered. And when you choose your dress combination or the color should be neutral. Ako, I always keep colors such as navy blue. You can never go wrong with black, especially during interviews. White. Ano pa ba? What do I have in my closet? Gray. Yeah.
Yung mga light blue, sky blue.
I would have that, but I would also combine that with something that's darker.
Okay.
Kung light siya.
What's the difference between power dressing and being fashionable, or do they go hand in hand?
Kasi ang fashion kasi, it doesn't last. But style would last.
Right.
It would remain the same. So, hindi naman porket yan ang uso ngayon, then that's what you're gonna wear.
Yeah.
What if it depends on your personality, di ba? So, for me, there's really, ano nga ba yung tanong mo? Fashion and
Fashionable. Fashion savvy, fashionable.
Yeah. You can always be fashionable and at the same time classy.
Correct.
Timeless.
Right.
Wow,
And hindi
classic.
man porket, hindi man porket uso siya ngayon, diba? Yun
Yeah.
ang susuot ko. And because I am seeing some celebrities wearing like this, I'm gonna wear the same thing in the office or in the community that I'm serving.
I like yung energy ngayon, Anthony, na parang confidence. Parang gusto ko nga magpa-upload ng konti.
Para mahawa.
But my question, why I said
Actually,
that.
I am nervous and I'm quite shy at this moment. Pero,
But you're
diba?
doing a great job. Yeah. Yung question ko, Miss Peaches, personally, sa experience mo, power dressing, how do you assess na, okay, I'm ready? Tama itong ginawa kong yung combination and everything. Ito rin gusto kong maging power dressing na ano.
That's a very good
Yeah.
question
Ano yung
because
feeling
I'm
mo?
gonna tell you, if there is something that's questionable about what you're wearing, then don't wear it.
If you're not sure.
Yes, if you're not sure, if you're not comfortable. Kasi what I do, for example, I'm going to the office tomorrow, I would plan ahead.
Wow!
Okay, so that's
Daming
the number one tip.
Pero
Plan
dahil
ahead.
Because diba, typically you would have a closet naman and then you could
buti pa kayo.
combine.
Yeah.
And then I would separate the blacks from the white and ganon.
So may discipline din pala.
Oo.
Tsaka
And then I would mix and match it na.
Nice.
Diba?
Pero good for one day, 1 week, 1
For
month.
1 week.
Wow!
For 1 week. Nakaplan na
Do you
siya.
deviate?
Not really. It depends on my mood. And it depends on the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi kagaya ngayon,
Very
malamig.
important.
So I have to adjust, right? I have to wear some turtleneck. And then I have to be really covered kasi nga malamig.
Sige,
Nice.
pag-usapan natin yung mga occasions, Antoinette. Total na, mention niyo na kanina yung mood, tsaka yung
Weather.
at tsaka
Oh,
yung
of course.
interview. So, going back to the interview, what's a good tip for people?
For interview, you have to do some research about the company that you're going to apply for. Because there are some companies who are very lenient when it comes to dressing up. However, I would always remind myself, kung ako lang naman yon, that I have to be classy, fabulous, and covered. And first impression lasts. Diba? So I would have to look my best during an interview. So during an interview, a nice suit, you won't go wrong with a nice suit. If you're comfortable wearing pants for ladies, diba? If you're comfortable wearing skirt, then you'll never go wrong with the black and the white polo or a white top.
Yeah.
And of course, with the closed shoes.
Closed
Closed
shoes.
shoes.
Yes. We're very, teachers are very, especially when we're teaching tourism and hotel management, wherein all students should look presentable. And, the industry could really be discriminating.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't look nice, if you wouldn't look good, if you wouldn't look professional enough, then we wouldn't hire you. Because based on some researchers also, and I asked some of my colleagues who's working for the hotel, and I would ask them, so what happens during an interview? What's your number one criteria? Number one criteria, how they present themselves. Second na lang would be how they answer the question.
Wow.
Diba? Number one talaga,
Number one
wow.
talaga yun.
Diba? Dapat mapapawaw na sa
You're selling yourself, you're marketing
Yes.
yourself, diba?
So, first glance pa lang di ba?
Wow, diba?
Parang ako, if I would interview you, pasok na kayo.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we did something right.
Yeah, pwede mo humingi ng increase na, Miss Rich. Dahil napag-usapan natin. Well, power dressing, di ba, medyo formal yung scenario na na-mention namin kanina about job interviews. What about yung mga, siguro, magpapaalam sa parents, bibisita sa...
May manligaw ba?
Yeah, yung mga ganyan.
Pag ganun
Not necessarily
Oh, number one
Oh.
again, di ba? Hindi, rules doesn't change. Number one, do some research.
Kung ano yung favorite color ng daddy, gano'n.
Pero di ba part yun, na parang
Ah.
mga panliligaw, di ba yung
Opo.
parents ang niligaw. But anyway, do some research, and then, of course, you have not really pleased them, but just be yourself kasi. But again, I would always remind myself that you have to present your family well.
Yeah.
Because you're going to represent your family kahit na hindi mo pa kasama ang mga magulang mo pagpunta doon when you're meeting the parents. But you also have to make them feel special by dressing up appropriately na pinaghandaan mo yon event na yon kasi special moment yun for them. So you really have to look special also. You have to prepare for that occasion by dressing up well.
Yeah. Ikaw ba, Gabi?
I-ready
When
na
you,
ako.
hindi, nung nililigawan mo pa lang yung wife mo ngayon,
Oo.
ganun din ba yung naging experience
Yes,
mo?
so sobrang excited ko. Binili ko rin yung future in-laws ko ng mga damit.
Wow!
Just kidding. Anyway, speaking of damit,
Yes, we have a game.
Sige.
Of course, yan. So at this point, Miss Mitch, we'll show you some pictures po. Tapos titignan lang po natin if appropriate po ba yung, or applicable pa po ba yung mga photos, yung mga damit na suot ng mga models. And then, kung uso pa siya,
Or kung nakita mo ng bagay na
Oo.
occasion or
Opo.
situation, when to
Sige.
use it.
when
any
is it
enhancements,
appropriate?
Sige, let's do
So let's
this.
start with the
Yan,
first,
okay.
first
First
image.
photo. Yan.
Saan siya pupunta? And I think that would be appropriate if you're like going to the office, no? But for me, kasi during an interview, it's nice, but I wouldn't be that comfortable with some
Yeah.
patterns.
Siya na striking. Yeah.
Yes. But siguro nakapasok ka na sa office and that would fit.
Wow.
Diba?
Yeah. First day siguro.
Oo.
First day.
Kaya baka to, but why am I wearing floral? Yeah, but
Okay.
that's nice
That's
naman.
nice.
That's
Okay.
nice. Yes, she's wearing also closed shoes. And actually, it's how you carry yourself. Look at her, diba? Full of confidence.
Actually, gusto ko rin pong pansinin yung heels, no? Kapag nagko-commute. Minsan,
Pero it's very hard to commute also.
Yeah.
Parang yan 6 inches. I think 1 to 2 inches would be appropriate.
Or may pang-commute na shoes siya.
Una, it's not really about being stylish. It's about comfort. So if you will be working and then you'll be wearing like 6-inch heels, then that would be very difficult for you to
Too much.
move, especially if you're commuting.
Yeah.
Siguro if you have a car and you just keep on sitting the whole time, then that will be fine.
Baka nagko-commute lang to kasi nasa bridge siya.
Nakakatuwa naman siya. Hindi siya na-
casually strolling down.
Kumusta naman ang varicose vein?
Next. Yeah.
Oh, what is she doing? She's in the office.
Yeah.
I think, siya, no, engineer kaya yan. Kasi parang she's wearing denim, no?
Denim.
If that's fine, like us, pag Friday, then we
Yeah.
allow wearing it. If depends on the company.
Yeah. Parang Friday, ano siya, no? Parang
For-
wash day, ano?
Yes.
Dress down?
Yeah.
Or if you're like working for a community, di ba? Na kailangan mo
Yeah.
minsan naka-rubber shoes, and that's fine.
Yes.
Kasi that's part, or if you're an architect na kailangan mo umakyat, it depends sa job mo. Di ba? Alam nga namang architect ka, akyat ka ng naka-heels ka, then you will not be comfortable.
Okay. Maybe one last? Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Where is she going?
Sa kay Marie
Sa market?
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo. Well, I'm a fan of Marie
Yeah.
Kondo, ah.
Yeah, magpapa-advise siya.
Okay. Now I'm confused.
Yeah.
Student?
Saan kaya siya pupunta? Because
Antoinette, is that you?
I am not sure if she's going to a party or going for work
Oh, yeah.
because she's wearing this. She's covered dun sa taas.
Yeah.
But naka-stockings pa siya and then naka-shorts ba ito? Or is that a skirt, a dress?
A dress po siguro.
And I'm quite confused. And
Baka
she's
ti-
wearing a
Sneakers or parang
2-in-1 yata, Miss
loafer.
Mitch. Mag-work muna siya, tapos sa gabi,
Oh,
diretso
party.
Pero if you were to enhance that look,
If I were to
Yeah.
enhance that look,
Apo.
again, kung nasa bahay lang siya, that's fine. Kasi wala namang titingan sa kanya.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that she's going for an interview because of what she's wearing. Again, I would go for something that's classy, that's neutral, and something that's covered. Diba? So, siguro it would have been better if she could have worn something that's plain, not really printed if you're going to a formal or you're going for work. If you would be going out attending a party, then maybe stockings wouldn't be appropriate naman. And then that bag, the combination, because normally you would have to have like a maximum of 3 colors, diba? That's actually the rule. But this one kasi parang it's really colorful. It's filled with colors like red, blue, black, white. Parang siyang rainbow. And
well,
why were you saying that's Marie Kondo? Ano? Di ba daw?
Maybe because
Tidying
she was
up.
Japanese.
She needs some tidying up
yeah,
ba?
yung spark of joy. Medyo tinipid yun yung spark of joy.
Parang she needs to give away that bag to give her
Yeah.
spark of
Well, anyway, nag-promote na tayo, Miss Mitch, but I think...
O nga pala. O, di bang na-mention na?
I think kailangan natin ng part 2,
Fine.
Antoinette.
Oo nga
Ako
eh.
sa time natin. But,
Pwede naman.
but thank you very much, Mitch. Mitch,
My
any...
pleasure.
Yes. Do you have anything po sa message for our viewers regarding, yun nga po, power dressing and being confident?
Again, power dressing, for me, is just keeping yourself covered. Keeping neutral colors in your closet and keeping your classy all the time. So that's power dressing, regardless of the price, regardless of the brand that you're wearing.
Nice, very well said. No, very very practical din kasi sabi nga ni Miss Mitch, hindi naman kailangan na designer or branded talaga yung mga clothes. It's really up to how we wear it and the appropriateness. And ako din no from our conversation, I can also remember yung bang motive you asked a while ago about our motive. Siguro at the end of the day, what really should motivate us is how we also look at our hearts, how we prepare our hearts too as we prepare our outer appearance,
That's true.
diba? Our outer appearance, how we prepare our hearts and our minds as we go out. Kung sino man yung makakasalamuhan natin, whether it be yung CEO, our boss, or even community, diba?
Yeah.
So that for me is also part of yung power dressing and confidence.
Very well said, Dante. I think the key there is also the testimony. You know, I'm reminded of the verse, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." One thing that elevates our confidence probably, or definitely, is our testimony, especially if it's one that seeks to please God. So, for more on this, actually, let's listen to Bishop Ruben in Hebrews.
Welcome to Hebrews. Ito po ang bahagi ng ating Lighthouse Cafe na naglalayon na bigyang daan sa ating programa ang magandang katuruan ng salita ng Diyos at kung paano ang ating Diyos ay maaaring kumilos po sa ating mga buhay at sa ating lipunan. Kaya nga po ang title ng ating segment ay Hebrews. Yun nga lang po, ang lahat ng terms ay parang kamag-anak ng kape, But it's good that we can have a segment na kung saan makikilala natin, recognize natin ang pagkilos ng Diyos sa ating buhay. Pinag-uusapan po natin ang mga kababaihan na ikay nasa kapangyarihan, women in power, and we would like to honor them. Ano po? Ano nga ba ang sinasabi ng salita ng Diyos tungkol sa ganitong mga katangian ng mga kababaihan? Alam niyo po, palagi ko aaminin natin lahat. Nung tayo po'y maliliit pa, ano po, naroon ang ating pagtingin sa ating mga nanay, pagtingin sa ating mga guro. Ano po? In fact, sa mga eskwelahan po, ang karamihan ng mga guro ay mga kababaihan din. Ano po? Kahit sa amin, nung araw, ako po'y laking public school. At naging katangi-tangi po ang naging role ng mga kababaihan. At unang-una, sa aking nanay na. And she was also my first teacher. In fact, ang aking ding pong nanay ang nagturo sa akin ng tungkol sa mga kwento sa banal na kasulatan. But what does the Bible say about women? Ano po? Alam niyo po, sa aklat ng Tito, ay ibinabahagi doon ni Apostol Pablo kay Tito ang mga magagandang katangian ng mga kababaihan na kahit saan sila dalhin ay maaaring naroon pa din ang mga katangian na ito. Kahit na ito ay o sila ay nasa mga lugar na ng authority, in places of power. In fact, ang sabi po doon sa Titus chapter 2 and verse 3, pinagbibilinan po, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands. Alam niyo po, ang mga katangian ito ay palagay ko'y masasabi nating likas, ano po, in the most general sense sa mga kababaihan. At maigi that those women in power, kahit man anong tugatog na ng tagumpay ang kanilang naabot, ay naroon pa din ang mga katangiang ito. Halimbawa po, yung bang dangal, no, ang kabanalan, ano po, ang pagiging guro. Kailangan po natin ng guro sa lahat ng antas ng buhay natin. Hindi po natatapos ang pag-aaral ng tao. Kapag ang isang tao po ay hindi na teachable, alam nyo, may problema na yan. Subalit kinakailangan po natin ng ating mga mentors, anumang level ng ating estado sa buhay. And it would be good kung ang ating mga kababaihan would take this as their quality kahit saan sila naroroon. The quality of being teachers in every respect. At kung sila ay guro, naroon yung tinatawag na soberness, kahinahunan sa lahat ng bagay. Ano po? Hindi padalos-dalos. Some people may be impulsive. Subalit, alam niyo po, lalo na kapag may experience na at ating mga nanay, pagbibilinan tayo, dahan-dahan ka, huminahon ka anak. We need those things para i-remind po tayo. Teachers of good things. Naku, alam niyo po, yan ang kinakailangan sa ating lipunan. Ano po? And then, ang sabi po dito, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home. Alam niyo po, ang talagang sukat ng tagumpay ay nagsisimula sa tahanan. Okay? At kung ito po ay dala ng mga kababaihan sa kahit na anong antas at kahit anong lugar ng kanilang pinamumunuan, ano po, na nagsimula sa tahanan ay dala-dala po nila ito, magkakaroon ng kaayusan, kapayapaan, katahimikan, at yun ang sinasabi ng aklat ng ating Panginoon. And those things na kinakailangang makita ay sana po ay maging consistent din naman ang ating mga kababaihan. This is part of honoring women, that they may also see how they can honor God in their lives. Pagpalain tayo ng ating Panginoon.
It's that time of the year again, Antoinette.
Yes.
Magkakaroon na naman ng Jesus Festival sa nalalapit na March 22 and 23 at the SMX Convention Center. Alam mo, na-feature na natin to last year. Pero ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng festival sa taon na ito?
Yes, alam mo, stronger ang theme for this year's Jesus Festival. And to tell us more about what we can look forward to for this year's event, we have with us again the head of order for the Jesus Festival 2019. So welcome back to Lighthouse Cafe, Gabriel Orr. Hi, welcome
Nice,
back.
welcome back. Gabe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, well, it's our pleasure.
Yeah.
And so this year's theme is about being stronger or stronger. So can you tell us more about why this theme and what we can look forward to?
Yeah, we're excited about this year. You know, the theme Stronger, I think, is really just coming from wanting each part of everyone's life to be stronger. So stronger relationships, stronger families,
Okay.
stronger in your connections with other people in Christ, you know, and stronger in your health, stronger in your body, stronger in your
Nice.
nutrition. you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just really about each person coming and receiving something that's going to cause their life to be elevated by what they receive. So, yeah, I think that's where the theme Stronger comes from.
Nice. And you know what? Our churches, or the Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church, theme for this year is also being enriched. And I think that's very much related to,
right.
being stronger. And I like what Gabe said about being stronger in all aspects of our lives. Like in not just in the spiritual, but also in physical, also in relationships. So,
Right.
yeah,
So speaking
great.
of Jesus Festival, when would this event be?
Yeah, so it's going to be March 22 and 23.
All
So
right.
it's
So it's going to be full 2 days.
2 full days, and
Nice.
And where would this happen?
yeah, it happens at SMX and Mall of Asia. So it's at the convention center up on the second level. So
Okay.
there's function halls there, so the signs will be there, and I think it's not, you won't get lost. So,
Right. That's going to
yeah.
be big signages over
Yeah,
there.
right. And yeah, so, and we start at 9 a.m. each day,
Okay.
and we have a few breaks in between, but we'll go till 9 p.m. So,
Nice.
but we will let you eat lunch and dinner. So, yeah.
So what would the
Alright.
features be for this year's festival?
The features.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some international guests coming in for the festival. We have a pastor from Hong Kong, Rob Rufus, who's been with us before, so we're excited to have him back. And then we have one from the States, Mark Strong. So we're excited that he was with us last year, so he'll be back. And then Joshua Mills coming from Canada, so he's also going to be with us. And then also our founding pastor, Pastor Paul and Sister Shadi Chase, they've been with us at New Life for 30 plus years now in the Philippines.
that is
So,
long.
Yeah,
Nice.
so they'll be with us again. And then my pastor and the visionary for Jesus Festival, Pastor Giselle Evangelist, that will be also one of the speakers. And then one special thing we're doing this year is having a segment for legacy builders, which is local pastors and church leaders from different churches that we're going to highlight this year. And we'll have a time of just allowing them to share, and I think be able to also gather ideas from different church bodies. And
Right. So you would have local partner churches?
yeah, so we give them an opportunity just to share about the way maybe they do things and just their hearts. So I think it's a time where we can also learn about what's happening in Philippines, Manila, different ways of reaching the body. So it should be a really great time.
So this this conference would, or can we call it a conference if we can, right? So this is there will be like lessons learned or best practices or
Yeah.
sharing of experiences with other churches.
Definitely, yeah. We like to try to keep it real, you know. We try to talk about doing church life and what it's like to live life, you know, amongst other believers. But I think, you know, I think it's good that we have a theme of Stronger this year, because I think that everyone should be able to come there and find something that's going to strengthen them in their walk with the Lord. And so yeah, I think that's the vision for this year, but it's also the focus for people as they come and as they go, that they would leave with something that causes them to be stronger.
So what was the impact of this event? Or I mean the previous Jesus festivals that you had? So was there a specific story that really struck you?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot, right? But one story I really like is that I had a guy from one of my small groups in church, and he came to Jesus Festival last year, and he was kind of going through a difficult time in his relationship with his girlfriend. Okay, and he really received something from the Lord regarding that, and they're now married, and I've just been married a month, and I got to talk to him just last week. So. You know, and he really looks back to Jesus Festival as a time where the Lord really spoke to him and really changed the course of that relationship. So there's just so many stories like that where people will come and they encounter the presence of God, they encounter other believers just to worship and to lift up Jesus together. And you know, as we are drawn to Jesus, you know, I believe that it draws our hearts close to Him, and it causes us to really be in alignment with His will for our lives. So that's, I mean, just story after story, so many, but yeah, it's good.
And we know that it's been like 8 years since you started Jesus Festival, right?
That's right.
So how important is it for you to have this conference like this, or why do you think with the what's happening in our surroundings or in our environment right now, there are so many like this incidences of suicide and corruption. It's just all around the corner, and almost to the point of normalcy. So what do you think, or how important is it for us Christians to gather and to have
this
kind of
definitely.
festival?
It's a wonderful question. Jesus Festival is really started as an offering for the body of Christ, and it's something that we do for the body. Some churches have things to promote what they're doing inside the church, and those things are good. But this one, we really want to bring in the body of Christ so that we can celebrate Jesus together. And part of what we believe that does is it strengthens the local church, it strengthens the individual in that church, and it also strengthens the relationship bond that we have with other maybe church bodies or other believers. And so one thing that our pastors always tell us is that what is so important for our lives is revelation, the revelation that we have of who Jesus is, and also our relationships. And so, in Jesus Festival, we come together with other people and we strengthen our relationships. And then we be encouraged to also in our relationship with the Lord and who we are in Him and what He's done for us. And in doing that, I think it really helps us to come out stronger, right? But also in that, we're also not ignoring what's happening in the world. And so we're trying to create an environment where people can come in, and we try to be real transparent with our lives. And then we also try to create an environment where people can feel safe to open up their lives and to connect with someone else, so that they know that they have a place to come if they need help, or if they're going through something mentally or emotionally, or so many pressures that the world has put on people today. But we believe the church has the answer for those because we carry Jesus. So what better place than to come to Jesus Festival, and so that's why we really want people to feel welcome to come, and that it's a place where you can come to get help, and it's not a place where perfect people are, but we have a perfect God. And so as you come, then we can help point people to Jesus.
Right, hence the theme Stronger
Yeah,
for this
Stronger,
year.
there you go.
Right, so how are the preparations going for this coming 22nd?
Being the head of order,
Right.
so
Yeah, we hope they're all in order. I don't know. But now we have a great team, with wonderful people that we get to do this with, and so I think it's kind of a catchy phrase, but every year we seem to get stronger as a team. We seem to learn things from past years that we can bring into this year, and as we were saying outside, the preparation seems to get earlier and earlier. But
anticipating the event.
Yeah, anticipating it. So I'm already feeling the
pressure.
stress, the pressure rising, and it's like 3 weeks out. Usually, I'm not really thinking about it so much. So, but
meetings here and
very
there.
busy. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. The excitement is there, and we have a number of volunteers that are, just eager to volunteer. It's amazing the volunteers that we have for this event, and we don't pay most of them to be there, but they come and they just want to be a part of what God's doing. So we're so thankful for that. Yeah.
So if we were to ask you, Gabe, for the most unforgettable or most memorable part of being the head of order of Jesus Festival, what would it be?
The most memorable part. Well,
Or the key takeaway or key lesson that you've learned from...
yeah, I think, I mean, the most memorable part for me is really the connections that we get to build with other ministers and other ministries as they come in, you know, and to share time with people that, you know, from across the world or in different nations or different connections that we've made over the years for me, and also to be able to serve those people in a capacity of maybe ushering or
Even in the smallest ways.
yeah, in the smallest
Yeah.
ways, to just be a part of what God is doing, you know, and then just to see the impact that it has in the people that come, but also in the people that serve, and the way that their lives are blessed, and,
Yeah.
and seeing lives being transformed.
Mm.
Yeah, and so I think for me that's really why we do what we do, because of what He did for us, but also because of what we see the impact in people's lives, you know, and it comes back to that. So.
Right. So I mean, if it hadn't been for Jesus' love for us, we wouldn't be doing anything like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
amen to that.
Yeah. So maybe we can give an invitation for our viewers and also a message, so you can...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, we just want to invite, you know, I don't know where you are watching from tonight, but we're just so thankful that you could take some time to be with us and hear about Jesus Festival, March 22, 23 at the SMX Mall of Asia. We'd be so happy if you come celebrate Jesus with us, and no matter what your background or where you're from, we want you to know that you're welcome, and we would love to celebrate Jesus together, and yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
for those
you.
people watching, maybe you can direct them to, do you have a website where they can
Or a
register?
Facebook
Yeah,
page?
thanks for reminding me. We do. We, if you'd like to register for the event, you can come on the day. We have registration there at the venue. It's 1,000 pesos for the 22nd and the 23rd. Or we do have some day passes that we're going to be giving to people. So come get a day pass. I think the price would be 500 pesos for a day pass. And you can also check us out on jesus-festival.org. That's jesus-festival.org. And you can also online register there, and you can get the downloads and the things regarding our speakers and our and the things the program flow, all the things that'll be happening at Jesus Festival. You can check us out there for all the information, and yeah, even write us a message. We'll be happy to get back to you. So.
Right.
Nice. So, you know what, Harvey, what makes me really excited is that what Gabe mentioned about, you know, everyone is facing so many challenges or so many problems right now at this in this point in time, and even us Christians, you know, we need to be strengthened and we need to be built
Right.
up, and especially as churches. So, and that's what Jesus Festival is all about. That we become stronger by the work of Word of God, and also by, of course, by His grace, so that, you know, we can come out of this as you know, better individuals, and also, of course, better churches, so that we can be salt and light in our communities, in our nation, of course.
Right. And I mean, hearing from Gabe, all of these preparations, I think we can relate to it.
Yes.
As we have been
Definitely.
yeah, we have been to these also these kinds of events also,
Yeah.
and it's really beautiful that we can see all of these people, all of these churches get involved in the work of the Lord and see their
Yeah.
hearts for the ministry, and
Yeah.
how they really would want to be involved for the Lord,
Yeah.
for the work of God.
Yeah, we thank you guys for having us. You know,
Yes.
we're so thankful to be here and to also hear about what God's been doing here. So it's wonderful, and yeah, we're excited about the opportunity just to be able to share this event with people and just celebrate Jesus together. So it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
All right.
So we're very excited, and we hope to see all of our viewers and, of course, all of our friends there.
Yeah. Once again, thank you, Gabe, for coming. So, Jesus Festival 2019, Stronger, March 22 to 23, 2019. We'll see you at the SMX Convention Center.
Come to Jesus Festival on March 22 and 23 at SMX Convention Center, Mall of Asia. We have an amazing speaker lineup this year. Rob Rufus, Paul Chase, Mark Strong, Shotty Chase, and Joshua Mills. Register at jesus-festival.org now.
Alright, for today, meron po
Yes.
tayong pa-contest. Sasagutin nyo lang po ang tanong, magbigay ng isang segment topic sa aming episode ngayon.
Yes, and winners will win an OBD Intel from Dynel Global Hypertelematics. This device can diagnose and monitor your vehicles real-time. And I heard that this is worth 20,000 pesos
Tama,
daw.
Antoinette. Mukhang kailangan ko yan sa sasakyan ko.
Yes.
So ano pang hinihintay nyo? Send your answers to our official Facebook page. That's Lighthouse Cafe. And win this OBD Intel device.
Yes, at para mas lalo pa silang ma-excite, Gabby, this device can diagnose and monitor your vehicle real-time. Paano nga ba?
Well, they have their web-based system. You can also download their app from Google Store and you will receive SMS notifications.
Wow, sobrang high-tech naman yan. So, don't miss this chance to win your OBD Intel device for free. Just send your answer to our question. Magbigay ng isang segment sa topic natin for today.
Natapos na naman po ang isang oras na magandang kwentuhan and we hope that you enjoyed our discussion today.
Yes, and you can watch a replay of our episode today sa aming YouTube channel. Look for Lighthouse BBC on YouTube and of course, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Available din po ang aming mobile apps. Yan po ang Lighthouse BBC and GCTV mobile apps. Download these via App Store and Google Play Store.
And of course, we would like to thank our ministry partners and sponsors, Miami Cakes, Four Gospels Catering Services, Lighthouse Blooms Flower Shop. And of course, if you want to be a blessing by becoming our ministry partner, just send us a message to our official Facebook page, Lighthouse Cafe.
Yes, Atty. Moses. At pwede rin silang magpadala ng mga komento sa ating Lighthouse Cafe Facebook page or write us an email at goodtalks@lighthousecafetv.com.
And so catch another episode next week only here at the Lighthouse Cafe.
Where good talks happen.